Welcome to the Chronically Will podcast, where we hold real conversations with community that need to be heard. On this episode, I want to introduce you to Londen. Londen was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 2009 during her sophomore year of high school. After telling her mom her symptoms and about her blurred vision, her mom told her that she had diabetes. She was diagnosed on September 9th, 2009. 999. 15 years later, and equally 15 years greater, she is sharing with the world her story, which is no sugar coating. Londen is a graduate of Hampton University with a degree in sports management. Today you can find her setting up shop and educating the community about the real factors of type 1 diabetes and the many people it affects via her self-founded organization, No Sugar Coating. One of the main reasons Londen started No Sugar Coating was to educate others about diabetes and also let people see that diabetes isn't just a kid or elderly disease. Via her own social media presence and her organizations, you can find Londen sharing her story and collaborating with others to equally share their own story so that their voices will be heard. One thing she will always do is tell it how it is. Hence, no sugar coating.
I am an empath, but you wouldn't be able to tell automatically just from like meeting me or a quick conversation. So I definitely appreciate when somebody takes the time or they're super like genuine with trying to either, you don't even have to try to understand that I'm diabetic, but I would love for you to. But because I never off bat like any conversation, like just a regular conversation with a person, I'm not automatically going to tell you that. But once people see me like either take out the insulin pump or show the pen that I got, put on the needle and all of this, then that's when the real conversation starts. So I really appreciate when people take out the ignorance of what you may or may not know about diabetes and just genuinely like take the time to understand and want to learn about what's going on.
Right. You want to see the reality of people.
Yeah.
That's the no sugar coating again. So, I truly understand what you're saying because I have had people say that they wanted to get to know more about it and learn more about it. But at the same time, once they did, it was like, like I can't believe you're living through that. You go through that. But they don't realize that it's more than 24/7. It's nonstop. Like we are truly amazing people because of the things that we are able to do with what's given to us. You know, insulin can equally kill you as it does heal you. So I mean we're magical. We're superheroes. We're powerful. And at the same time, I wouldn't want to give this superpower to anyone else.
Not at all.
Not at all. Yeah, so coming from Chicago and growing up in that area, did you see any other like diabetics coming up, like young people?
No, not at all. Like at most, everybody around me has asthma. Like
Di-
anybody in my family, no, not really. I was too young. My grandfather had it, but he passed before I was born. And then my aunt and my cousin had it, but I've never really seen them like in motion or like a real sickness of it. I just know that they had it, but outside of that, nah, no real like connection or
right.
seeing like I would hear about it or like the news or something might come on TV, like a quick ad or something, but never anything like super influential or like a shocker. I've always known what it was. So when I got it, I was super surprised because I'm like, where did this come from? And then I had to learn like the science of it being like hereditary, genetic, or sometimes they'll tell you it's like it just happens type of thing. So like, okay.
Right. It was like almost like it didn't exist until it happened to you, like truly. And that's how I feel with like other things. You know, someone may say like You don't know what I'm going through because you're not going through it. Like we don't truly feel like we don't say those things, and that's not how we truly feel because we don't want anyone else to go through it. But living with something such as type 1 diabetes, it's to be able to explain it to someone who's not living with it or someone who has not helped manage like a child from like toddler age and up. It's almost like it's a hard feat because most people when they want to understand something, like I said, they want to embody it and it's be like, okay, tell me all you can, throw me all the knowledge, all the education that you have in it. But we can give them a book this big, like stacks of Bibles on top of Bibles, but they open it up and read from end to end, they still won't understand it. There's there's no way to unless you're actually living through it. Because even though we're having a conversation right now, I guarantee there's fluctuations that are happening with our blood sugar. And that's not something of our fault. It's nothing we can do about it except for monitor it.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm always getting told like the quick tips and tricks and how you can cure it or how you can get rid of it or something to make you feel better. All types of diets. Never been a diet person, so I never bothered to do a diet. But just the other day, I was actually trying to describe like how I was feeling if I had like a high or a low, and it's kind of like can't really make that connect unless you're like inside of the body actually with it. So it was kind of like hard to grasp or really explained for that matter either. So I've never really brought on somebody to take on like the pain that I might feel because of a high blood sugar or to teach somebody how to give me medicine because honestly I don't really trust anybody to stick a needle inside of me.
Not at all.
But I've always basically the whole journey has been like a self journey due to the fact that I do everything myself, like prescriptions and stuff. My mom will help me with, especially in the beginning. But any of the medication research knowledge, monitors, I've always implemented and done myself. So that's kind of like how it's been rolling. I don't really have anybody take on like the pain I might feel or what I might be going through. So kind of like I be trying to get people to understand, but at the same time, I don't really
Hey,
want you to.
London, you know what space you're in right now? You're in the space with somebody who takes in everything diabetes related almost 24/7, even beyond my own. The phone calls, the messages, me helping people access medical supplies and needs. I call and I advocate for people at hospitals, speak to their practitioners, everything. So this is the space right here. If you want to explain what a high or low is, guess who knows? This guy. So if you want to explain how does a high feel to you? Because
That's
I
the
want to
thing.
I
It
want to
changed.
know I want to know if it's the same way that I feel.
It's actually changed for me. So in the beginning, it was super like super like hot, have no type of emotion, can't feel anything. And then now it's kind of like switching up in the opposite. And I'm like, so well, how does this really work anyway? Because sometimes it feels like when I'm high, it feels like a low, or when I'm low, it's feeling like a high. So it's like one big confusing state. But overall, all in all, I just basically tell somebody like if I ever have a high blood sugar, I'll be hot, sweaty, and then kind of just like not really trying to do any fast paced movements. And then if it's like low or super low, like I get shaky, weak, definitely don't want to move. And even me being a big like food person, when I'm on a low and don't have any energy to move, I'm not moving. Like there are definitely been times I've had to force myself to eat. And then I'm also the kid who, well, not a kid anymore, but I'm also the person who like I'll have like my stash for sugar, but I'll end up eating it, and then when I actually need it, I don't have it. So I'm usually all over the place from
Right.
time to time.
So before you started talking and I asked you about explaining the high, I wrote down three things because I wanted to see if your explanation would be similar to what I was thinking. So I wrote first word I wrote is high. Next word I wrote is dry. And the next word I wrote was numb. And you just gave me all of that about when you're feeling a high. That's what I was trying to say. Like, people don't understand why we talk about diabetes so much and why we love our community so much. It's because of the relationship. We finally have people that truly understand the things that we're living through, that we're going through. Like, and just to be able to hear you talk about that, like it felt good in my heart because I mean, right now, my blood sugar is probably rising a little bit because I have this thing where
Yeah.
adrenaline spikes me even more than food does. And right now, like I guess my adrenaline is like pumping because I'm on the go and I'm doing this. But yeah, you truly did just define, I mean, the three words that I had written down because we are two people, even though no two type ones are the same,
Mhm.
we have similarities.
Yeah, actually, when I was first diagnosed, they said I was both, and I never knew that was actually possible. But then after a couple tests, they were like, "Okay, you're type 1," and I was like, "I never knew that was a thing that you could get both." And then on top of that, like when before I actually went to the doctor, like you said with dry mouth, I had chugged like a whole gallon of milk, and every time I tell somebody that, they think I'm crazy, but it actually did happen. For like a week, I was always chugging some type of drink. I didn't think nothing of it. I knew I felt sick, but once I told my mom I chugged a gallon of milk, she was like, "All right, you have diabetes. Let's get this checked out."
It's
Um,
been many years since I've heard someone say that, but I recall hearing people say that a lot about chugging milk, like moms finding kids in the fridge just pouring milk over their faces, coming down their shirts. Yeah, it's I don't know if that's a direct relationship to many people with type 1 have like a vitamin D deficiency.
I do.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, though, even before being diabetic, I always loved milk. Like my mom would call me a cow to joke, but and I'm also a big cereal person, so I never thought anything too much out of vitamin D. People were just like, "You drink milk like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've always liked it ever since a kid. Still to this day I do. Because like people usually just have the milk for like the coffee or the cereal or anything, but I actually use it for that, and I also drink it on its own.
Do you
And
still drink milk today, to this day?
yeah,
Does it have to be nice and
I've
cold?
never had a problem. I just always liked it.
It, is it like ice cold milk or any milk?
Any milk. Honestly, I feel like the best is when it's like semi-room temperature. It's not like super warm, but somewhat like a lukewarm type thing.
Baby
But
milk.
no, I've never drank that. That's one thing I wouldn't touch as far as milk goes. But yeah, I just always liked milk. And then once I did become diabetic, they just kept telling me about vitamin D, take this, and take this. I was like, okay. But
Right.
yeah, nobody believes me when I said I've chugged a gallon of milk. They just think I'm super crazy for that.
Look, I believe you because you just went on for about 2 minutes talking about drinking milk. So I believe you. You love your milk. Do you like other like things like yogurt, cheese?
I'm a big cheese person too. Like dairy has always been like something I've liked. I don't know. I also feel like that could also hurt you a little bit because of the whole like it can make you like bloat or sick. But I've been very
Mhm.
thankful that I've never been lactose intolerant.
Right. When I was a kid, my parents used to call me, you know, growing up in a black household, someone always has a nickname or something. My parents used to call me Urkel because I loved the cheese. Like cheese on everything. I would not eat like a burger plain. It had to have cheese on it growing up. Like they were like, "What's wrong with you?" And like, cheese gives it all the flavor.
No, I definitely like chocolate milk, strawberry milk, like what is it, Nesquik was my favorite when I was little. So
Yoo-hoos. Do you know Yoo-hoos? The chocolate milk that
oh, I haven't had that in so long.
I don't even know if they're still around.
I know you would think so. Like the classics and everything are gone. Like that's another thing, especially with kids these days. They don't really have like youthful stuff. Like
Mhm.
they sped straight forward to like older stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, when we were younger, it was like some stuff we shouldn't have been bothered with, but
Right.
we still had that core stuff, whether it was entertainment, shopping, or anything that was meant for our age group. Now it's like 12, 13, you listen to the same thing the 25, 30-year-olds would. So yeah,
Right. And you see the parents dressing and doing the same things that the kids are doing.
trying to stay. I hated that.
I know.
And somebody
But
like 40s, 50s still trying to live like they 20. Anyways,
right.
another
Like
topic.
I mean, but I've heard parents say like I can't wait to be able to do this and that with my child. I'm like, really? I mean, type of things I want to do with my children are like go on vacations and trips and those types of things. I don't want to be catch my kid at the club, at a party. I don't want to drink and stuff with my kid. Like, not at all.
And that's another thing that I have to explain to people is alcohol. Even before I was diabetic, I didn't really care for alcohol like that. Still don't to this day, unless it's like a margarita or something. But having to explain like the science and everything when it comes
Hmm.
to and diabetes and blood sugars, that also. So I usually try to avoid it. But people will still try to give me the drink, and then when I say diabetic, they back off. I'm like, that's the word to use. Got it.
Look, that's that. I was talking to someone yesterday about that, like throwing that diabetes card. Sometimes it's in your pocket and you just gotta wave it out.
The thing is, I barely ever use it because, well, outside of like social things, and like work stuff, I never wanted people to hold that against me. So I barely use it. Like I would have to force myself, or my mom would have to like really get on me about telling people as far as like the workplace and everything, about me being diabetic. Like I get it, it can be an emergency, but half the time I don't want nobody to hold that against me because it's like every 2 seconds, like, are you okay to do this? Or
Mhm.
can you handle this? I'm like, I will be okay. I can manage it. I know what to do. If ever there's an incident, I can tell you, but I don't really like always telling people because I don't want that sympathy call or that for them to feel like I can't accomplish what I'm here to do type of thing.
Right. Now, on the in the workspace, have you ever had an incident of your blood sugar dropping low and you personally not being able to handle it?
So it's never been to the point that I've not been able to handle it, but it's always been like it goes low at the wrong time. Like I've done customer service, I've done even events and having to like carry heavy stuff, that type of thing. I was like, I need a break or I need to go grab a snack. Like a job I did at work, my manager used to be super upset that I always had a snack. And even when I did tell them I was diabetic, they would still be upset that I would have snacks around. I'm like, I
They
don't
don't
know
get it.
like kind of need this. But and then even if like I get super anxious or nervous about something at work, like my number will dip and I'm like, all right, let me try to control myself, get it together, or ask for a quick like bathroom break type of thing.
Yeah, they truly don't understand the things that we go through. And I mean, all they think of is diabetic, ate too much sugar. Why are they eating sugar? They
It
don't
wasn't
understand.
that it was sugar. It was more so the fact like, why are you always eating? I'm like, why do you care so much? As long as
Right.
I get my work done, I think we should be okay.
Oh, so they were just policing you for no
Pretty much.
apparent
Yeah,
reason.
that manager was a very much a micromanager. Yeah.
Hmm. Didn't usually micromanagers don't truly know how to do the job at hand, so they nitpick and find whatever they can to make it seem as though they're doing their job, like a part of their whole rapport as a manager is just to tell people what to do.
Pretty much, she picked up everything I did. She picked up whatever hairstyle I had, or if I didn't do something to her, like, and it was just a hot mess, I didn't last at that job, of course. Moved on to something.
Right, right. Um, being from Chicago area, have you come across like any major celebrities from the area growing up?
That was the most annoying question when I was in college. It was like, "Do you know Chief Keef? Do you know Lil?" I'm like, "I don't know none of these people." Um, it really is just based on like the time and place of where you are. I've never really like ran into anybody or randomly like I'll meet people who aren't from Chicago in
Mhm.
the city or whatever. Like I met from Destiny's Child Michelle Williams before, but I met Lil Durk at a concert when he came to my university. So it's kind of like depends on where you are and the timing of everything. So it's never really like, oh, I go here, I know I'm gonna see such and such. No, not like that. Like the other day when I did a Target delivery, I saw a comment at a hotel. So it's kind of like depends on where you're
Mhm.
going and the timing of it all or what's
Mm.
going on. Oh well, All-Star Weekend when it was here and I was working at Nike, I saw a few people, but other than that, like it really depends on like where you are, that type of thing.
Right, depends on the situation where you're
Yeah.
placed. So yeah, yesterday last night, had a conversation with a guy through the podcast, and he was telling me things, and I'm like, for real? He's like, he's been in all these different movies, and he was saying them nonchalantly, like it was nothing. He was like, yeah, I've been in like 20, 23 movies. I'm in a new movie with Anne Hathaway, and he just kept on going. I said, hold on, you were in Drumline too? He said, yeah, I was in Drumline too. It's like, I played the guitar in Coming to America too, and like, but he was like, it's nothing. It's just a part of me. I'm like, oh wow,
Because
wow.
after a while, you get so used to it.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just I mean, it's part of, I guess, part of his lived experience and culture. Yeah. So you did mention having a aunt and a cousin with diabetes. Is it type 1?
It was actually type two. Theirs progressed once they got older. So yeah, like I guess senior citizen would be the term to use. But yeah, theirs progressed once they became older, but I never really had to like acknowledge or like help them with anything. From time to time I'll be like, should you really have that? But since they're older, people are like stubborn
Mhm.
in their ways, it's kind of like I'm just let you do you type of thing.
Right.
But always just like look out just in case they need help. But once I became diabetic, it became like, okay, so how should I do this? Or what should I watch out for? Just those small like conversations. But other than that, yeah, nobody around me has ever been diabetic. And I never really met anybody until like around my age until I became diabetic.
So like growing up in school, you didn't know anyone else diabetic
I
in
didn't in
college.
my high school, I feel like it was somebody else that was diabetic, but I didn't really know who they were. Because even now, like going to classrooms, I'll notice like it's one or two kids in the classroom, but they won't speak up. But like once I'm done with like the conversation or presentation, they'll come up to me and tell me about it. So it's really never really like straight out there. Like if I go out
Mhm.
or out and about and I'll see somebody with Omnipod or the G6 and sometimes I'll walk up to people, sometimes I don't because I'm like, I don't want to be a weirdo, but then it's cool to just see like, okay, I see what you're working with, I see what you have, that type of thing.
Right. I had never growing up, like I don't think I've ever seen anyone that was a diabetic. Like seriously, I didn't even know it existed beyond like the typical stereotypes that
Yeah.
we should all be getting rid of. But I do recall like being at a pool one time and seeing someone with a patch on their arm, and I'm like, why do they have a nicotine patch at the pool? Like
Okay.
I wasn't educated in what insulin pumps were, what continuous glucose monitors were at all. And I mean that's no fault of my own. It's just I didn't have that experience. So like it was many years before I got technology. Did you from the onset were you using technology?
No, when I first got it, I was a syringe and a vial, which I truly hated. And I also had tried the pill. It wasn't until like my senior year of high school that I had got a pump. And even then I didn't know if I could really get it because it's so expensive. But I had knew nothing about like the technology. I know people had to use needles, but other than that, I didn't really think too far ahead as far as like the technology of it. Even though now, of course, it's like super cool and convenient because it's like that works for me. But overall, I never really thought about that. But I've never been somebody who's had a problem with needles and shots and stuff. So it's kind of like at this point, kind of like numb to the needles. It is what it is. Doesn't hurt, doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it's like a 50-50 chance of me talking to people on if they had a needle phobia or if not. Um, just the other day, I had a young lady who was talking about how when she went to go through her training, her I mean her training for her CGM, there was a 4-year-old girl getting training at the same time, and this grown woman at the time who was in her 20s, like she was screaming for the 4-year-old, frightening the 4-year-old, like, I can't believe you have to do this, take these shots all the time, and this, and the mom is like, she's okay, this is all she knows.
Yeah.
And the woman was like, but she's a baby, I can't believe it. And she said she actually got down and started praying for this child. And I was like, wow, that's different. But
Yeah, because like when I would think about it, it's like it's little kids with this, but I got it at the like randomly in the middle of teenage years, and I was throwing a fit. Because when I got home from the hospital, the first thing I wanted was a bowl of Fruit Loops, and then my mom told me I couldn't eat that anymore. So it's kind of like I don't like how this is going already.
now when
Um,
you're around your mom, do you pull out that bowl of Fruit Loops?
I
And
mean, she knows I eat whatever.
okay,
It was like in the very beginning, people would try to like regulate what I had, or my mom was really heavy on the portion control. But as I got older, I figured out what I needed to do in order to have what I really wanted. So,
right. Nobody was going to stop you from doing what you wanted to do, eat what you wanted to eat. And they're still not going to stop you today. Because although we live with diabetes, diabetes is not all of us. It's just a part of us. As long as, like I said, as long as we can manage it and care for it the best of our ability with our lived and educated experience, then we're good. Just like with any other thing in life, if you learn it, you do better, right? We know more, we do more.
yeah, I've actually never let it stop me from doing anything because I'm pretty like an adventurous person. So when it comes to like a ride or an activity, I'll still do it, even though sometimes, like on rides, they point out if you have this, this, and this, and this, you shouldn't get on. But I've been perfectly fine every time, so I still
Oh, so you hop on roller coasters and do all
I
that
love
stuff.
roller coasters.
You love them. I remember when I used to love them.
I love zip lining and everything. Yeah, I do a lot of adventurous stuff.
Okay. Zip lining. I think I've done that once, with Boy Scouts. Yeah. But yeah, I used to be huge into like testing the waters and everything. Like Danger was my middle name, like seriously. But as I gotten older, I don't know why, what has changed with me. But like today, no, you're not catching me on a roller coaster. I
Like
think
I'll do like the small activity stuff, but I don't know. I just don't have the energy to be like clubs or bars or like I don't know what it is once you get to
mhm,
like your late 20s, about to be 30s, and everything just checks out.
so you feel like you're getting old.
Not
L-
even getting
l-
old, it's just like what happened between then and now. But a lot of people are also talking about the whole shift of COVID taking away a lot of years from them and then the
Right.
energy and everything being totally different.
True indeed. Especially for us living with a chronic health condition because you know on during the onset of COVID, like we were literally thinking like, how am I going to save my life? Literally, like we were doing everything to make sure that we just lived another day
You know what's
because
crazy though? Even during COVID, like I don't know what it is. Like I guess my daredevilness or like my I'm a risk taker with most things. Everybody was super like paranoid about it, and I wasn't at all. Like understood, like of course the precautions of it, and I need to be safe, especially with the autoimmune disorder and everything. But it never really like scared me to the point like, oh my God, that I would die. I understood it. I knew the risk of it and like the terribleness of what had
Mhm.
happened through it, but I would still want to like go outside. I would wear a mask, but I honestly didn't wear a mask all the time like I should have. But I don't know what it is. It didn't really like scare me or scare tactic. I guess that was also because nobody close to me passed from it, so I know that would have made a difference. But overall, nothing about it was like set me in like a panic mode. I didn't get it until like a year and a half later. But I feel like I originally had it and I was working, but I just thought of it as like a regular fever, cold type of thing.
Mhm.
It was before it became a big pandemic when I really did have it. But even then, like I didn't think too much of it. I just like pushed through and worked through it.
Now, do
So
you think a big part of that may be because for the 10 years ahead of before COVID, you were living with type 1 diabetes. So, I mean, if diabetes ain't take you out, then what can? Like, literally, like I said, it's more than every second, 247, 365. It's nonstop. Like, literally, we're managing our health just to just to live today. Why worry about tomorrow when literally today I'm trying to figure this stuff out?
yeah, I always wanted to up and go do something or even go outside when it wasn't much to do outside. But of course, no, because I don't know how my best friend, she stayed in the house a year straight because of COVID. Meanwhile, I was outside every now and then or out and about doing something that I could, especially like when stuff started to get like lifted. Tried to find something to do because me, I get bored very easily. I can't really sit still for too long. So I always needed something to do, or somewhere to go.
Now, is that a part of you growing up and living with like social anxiety? So now that everyone was basically hoarding in the house and stuff, like you're like there and there. Now that I have all this free space and time. Let me go enjoy life.
The thing is, though, I don't think I really had much social anxiety until maybe, what is this, 22? Until like maybe two-ish, three-ish years ago. Like I've
Okay.
always been somebody who wanted to go to like the it event or like the most crowded restaurant or popular restaurant. I've always wanted to go, and like if it'll be a long line, I'm willing to wait. But my friends are like, no, can we go somewhere else type of thing. Like being in a crowd and being around people, that doesn't give me anxiety. It's the fact of me having to like actually socialize and speak out and
The
talk.
performance.
Yeah, that part of it. And everything I've ever wanted to do, like career wise, I've had to do some type of speaking or networking and all of that. And it's like, that's the part I'd rather not do. But knowing what I'm trying to accomplish and what I really want to do in life, that's a part of it. So I guess that's kind of like skill setting and stepping out of your comfort zone and everything. So what is life?
I mean, I understand. I used to be big into like being out there and doing everything, but I do everything behind the scenes today. Like everything that I do, like even across my platform, I hardly ever like show myself. Always like promote something or like show something with like just insert T1D artist because I don't know why, but I don't feel as though I need to be the face of anything because literally I'm just doing the work just to make sure that everyone is able to be at their best. And but like with this space right here, I said to myself, I said I'm going to have to put a face to everything that's going on behind the scenes because face value does matter. So like especially with when I think of young people growing up, living through a chronic health condition, or I think of like an older person who wasn't educated and have been living through it for many years. Like that education was missed with them, not at no fault to them to themselves, but just you know medical discrepancies and malpractice are true, especially to people of color. Like they happen nonstop all day, every day. So I wanted like even older people living with diabetes to even question like, do I have type 1? Do I have type 2? Do I have LADA? Like things of that nature. Because for the most part, when we leave the hospital, it's either they're going to put a number 2 tag on us or they're just going to say you have diabetes, not
Yeah.
understanding that there are different ways in managing them so that you can live your most optimal life.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when I was diagnosed, like as I got older, and then one of my close friends, before she had passed, her thing was like live your best life. So even with diabetes, like before that, and even with it now, like I've always tried to do my best to take in like every moment and do what I can. Because I'm very much a person who's always about like I said, the experience, the events, the traveling, just enjoying time to do what you can do best. Even though as of now it's been on a pause, but I'm trying to get back to what I was before. But
Oh,
um
you going to get there because with this no sugar coating, you have to, right? Because I know you want to take over. Not only this space, but all spaces and normalize what it is to be living with diabetes because it may not be seen regularly, but we know that today we're seeing it more and more because people are not afraid or ashamed or just because of simple education and whatever advertisement stating this person lives with type 1 diabetes, this person is using a Dexcom to monitor it or whatever. Like just that is valuable to the people. And I know you with your organization, no sugarcoating. Like I don't even know what your mission statement is or your vision, but I know that what I know from the work that you're doing, you're showing up, and that's what matters most. You're showing up not on, and you're not showing up only for yourself, but you're showing up for a community that needs you, a community that isn't often gifted the opportunity to do the things that they need to do to better themselves or just to feel normal as people living with diabetes.
oh, for sure. The overall like motto, I've changed the mission so many times, but the overall motto is to just inspire and initiate the knowledge and the support and making sure everybody is aware of what's going on, not just for diabetics, but for all, so that they can know like if somebody is diabetic around you, you know how to support, you know the signs, you know what to look for. And even with myself, like I'm still teaching myself things daily, and then others around me, like for instance, like it's a couple people who are around me that don't know the depth of it, but once I've explained it, even though they've known me since I've had it or previously, just as long, they still are like learning new stuff too. So it's kind of like to be more aware and knowing what's going on is really like the main value that I do push for others. Because like I said, like closest people to me, like they've known me since I've had it, but just as of lately, they're just now like seeing the real like impact and what's really going on with me being diabetic.
Right. And is that more so because today there's no hiding diabetes, right? We don't have to be flashy and shine it in front of people's face. This is me, like unapologetically.
And while we go around to schools, we do a lot of classroom chats to support those who may be diabetic or those who are in need of some advice to support those that are diabetic. For the fun of it, I'll make some TikToks and Instagram videos for some content creation. But overall, just your regular girl living with diabetes. I have it. It does not have me, but I pretty much eat whatever I want, so you'll never regulate me on what I can and cannot eat.
So your no sugar coating is across like all social media platforms.
Yes. So right now we are on the TikTok is my personal TikTok, but
Okay.
attach it to the Instagram, which is no sugar coating with 2 underscores, and then Twitter is NSC organization with 1 underscore.
NSC organization. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I get that down. So when I do let people know that when this podcast is out, that if you see new followers, just know they're friends of the community.
I need new Twitter followers. Gotta get my Twitter feed up.
You
What's
mean
that?
you mean X?
That was Twitter.
Look, and I haven't even been on that platform at all since the crossover, since it's changed up and everything. So, I mean, I even started a Instagram Threads, but I don't even use
I
that
didn't start
much.
Threads, no.
Yeah, it's really no great difference. So if you have one, you have the other.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want a greater following, I guess you would have both.
I don't have enough space on my phone for all of that, so I'll
Look,
just what I got.
it's all in the cloud, right? Something that we'll never truly understand. So much space. So your direct connection to chronic health is type 1 diabetes, right?
Sure.
Do you recall, I haven't asked you this, do you recall at all your diagnosis? Like the date?
The actual date, well, yeah, the travel up to the day.
Mhm.
Um, the day itself, semi, not like every little bit of it. Because I would, yeah, 15 summer. So right before I had to go back to school, I took a trip to Mexico with my mom and my aunt,
Mhm.
and
Are you
about
about
another,
to tell me Mexico gave you diabetes?
I really don't, I wouldn't know. That's when I guess I can't really decipher because I don't remember fully if I had any symptoms before I went on the trip. But while I was on the trip, all I kept doing was chugging pop, and it's pop, so it's like sugar on sugar on sugar.
Mhm.
Their pop doesn't taste the same as American pop, but I don't know, I just kept drinking, chugging, chugging. And even when I got back home, I went to Fridays, I had like 4 slushies because I just kept drinking and drinking and drinking. And then the week I went to school, my sophomore year, it's this popular restaurant by the school. I would get drink after drink there. I would even drink some of my friends' drinks that they weren't finished. And I'm like, do you want to finish that? So I'll take theirs. And it was like fruit punch and everything. The last thing I really needed, but I didn't know at the time. And then even at school, like before I went to the doctor, like I was feeling super weak, laid out on the lunchroom table. All my friends were like talking, continuing on with their day. Meanwhile, I don't feel great at all, laid out on the table. And then I had told my mom the symptoms. I was going to the bathroom like crazy, drinking everything like crazy, chugged the milk. And then she was like, "You have it," especially when I told her I had blurred vision, but I've been wearing glasses since I was like 8, but it was
Same.
like blurred vision that I had got at that time. So I do remember the exact date though. I was diagnosed September 9th, 2009, so 999.
Okay,
Um,
that's an easy remember.
yeah.
Mhm.
But
Is that
being in
a
the hospital, I don't really remember too much about it. I mean, I had a lot of visitors, but I was thirsty. I was ready to go home. I was like, "Is this over yet?
eh,
I want to go back to school."
right, irritated, 15, sophomore year of high school. everything. You had everything in front of you. You was about to take driver's ed probably. Like, come on, like they can't stop this. Like I just finished summer and I mean for a kid that wanna go back to school, they better let them back in school.
Cause I was on my phone looking at everybody being at school, and I'm like, I just want to go back.
Did you ever, well, you probably can't even recall then, but at that time, did you think of like when you went back to school, how not only people would see you, but like the differences in like how you will go about handling yourself?
Definitely. I was nervous. Like I wanted to be back in school, but to actually have to go back to school with medication and everything, that was what really weirded me out because I didn't really know what I would have to do or how to handle it. And then people who didn't know what was going on was like, "So where were you? Why were you out of school?" You know, when they always nosy, it was like, "So why
Mhm.
did you get out and didn't have to be here?" That kind of thing. And it was just one of those things that made me want to like close in more because like I really don't feel like explaining what it is. I fully didn't even know what it is. I was still getting used to like the symptoms of it and how to handle it myself. So at that time I didn't realize it until like later on, but at that time it was just like just so much being thrown at me. And even while I went back to school, like a couple of weeks later, I went out for a friend's birthday. It was just so many people, and I had just started feeling like woozy, lightheaded, and everything. So I separated myself. I sat myself on a curb away from everybody, the big group, and people were just like pointing it out, like, why is she over there sitting like that, this,
Mhm.
that, and the third. And it was just like a lie, especially for a kid. So and how do
Right.
you explain to like all those people I have an illness and nobody really knowing that like you can get the illness at this age?
Mhm. And that the illness was something that was unexplainable because you didn't even truly understand it. I mean, even today, like after many, many years of having it, you're in year 14, you said?
15, yeah.
Fifth, year 15 of living with type 1 diabetes. Even today, things change, whether it's technology, insulins. So it's always a relearning process. Like, we try to stay ahead of that, but everyone else still sees us as that person living with diabetes and they're living with it. So they must be taking the best care of it possible. But being diagnosed with something such as diabetes is not the same as going into the hospital because you need to get your tonsils removed or you have like an ulcer or there is not going to be, there's no remedy. Many people think that when we enter the hospital and we're diagnosed with something, as long as it's not something that they tell everyone through the media scope, it can and it like it can kill them, it can harm them, it can hurt them. They think that we're fixed. You have the insulin, you have the needle, take the insulin, and that's it. Almost like a band-aid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no way to truly tell someone like insulin is no band-aid. Insulin, if you want to compare it to a band-aid, it's that band-aid once you hop in a pool that keeps on coming off. No matter what you do, you could put the vet wrap around it. You can even tape it up, gorilla glue it down. That band-aid's going to keep on coming off, and I just got to be able to pay attention to make sure it don't slip too far away.
Nah, definitely. It gets, I try not to bother to even explain it. I just let people think what they think of their judgment after so long because it gets draining after a while trying to keep like explaining that it just doesn't take like insulin. There's so much more to it, and then the mental of it all and everything, and then the toll it takes on your actual body. So it's just so much to it, more than just a broken pancreas.
Right. Do you feel as though you've been living with diabetes for a long time?
Mm, yes and no. It doesn't feel like as long as it's actually been, but now that it's been so long, I'm kind of like used to it. It's kind of like something that's just a part of the process.
Yeah, time goes by fast when you're having fun.
yeah, type of thing.
Diabetes fun. Mm.
Regular, like I never really have to like go over it unless somebody new pops up or see something. But yeah, it's kind of just keep it moving and grooving and going with the flow of life.
Even if you work a regular full-time job, run an organization behind closed doors, internally and externally, you're running another job, you're running another organization, except for this job and this organization, you're the sole proprietor of it. You're the owner of it. You're the manager of it. You're the dictator and ruler of it. And you must make sure that all of the soldiers that are a part of that team internally stay in line, because at any given moment, things can change. Things can be altered with their health.
Always, I'm always getting told something. I'm like, okay, I got it. I'll handle it.
People like to talk. That's what I say. People like to talk, but they don't want to live this life at all, because, like I said, we don't wish this upon anyone. Not even the people who have done us the worst in life, whether that's relationships, education, work, whatever. We would never wish this upon them, because truly, before I met the diabetic online community, I didn't think anyone else could handle this. Like, I
Yeah,
really,
I didn't expect anybody around me or like in close proximity to have it. It's kind of like you're not like blind to it, but it's kind of like you wouldn't think that it could or would happen to anybody else type of thing.
right. Has living with diabetes like pushed you towards, or yeah, pushed you towards like a career path or a journey in life that maybe living without it, you may have been on a similar journey, but now you're taking it upon yourself to do something else?
I've never really thought about the correlation because I've always wanted a job within sports, and I started to get there, but then more so life, not even being diabetic, but like life happened. So I've had to like pivot to a different direction for stuff.
Mhm.
But I do think part of it may have played into why my career isn't what because on top of like just having like a slight bit or just the social anxiety of the networking and the anxiousness and nervousness of it all. When that comes into play, sometimes the diabetes is triggered. And so like all that talking and stuff, and then you have a dry mouth and you're really trying to like make that connection or
Mhm.
trying to get this job or make it work here. Yeah, kind of, not solely, but I feel like it has a brief part in it.
So when you say sports, are you talking about like in like sports management, those
Yeah,
types of
my
things?
degree was sports management and marketing. I've always wanted to do like event production within sports. So that was always my goal. I had a job at ESPN Chicago. And then I've done like a few sporting events here and there, in minor roles, but nothing really ever like stuck for me. So then I started to do like other small jobs until I could really get to where I wanted. And then I got laid off from a tech job, so it's like pivot from there. So on top of like just handling life, you also have to handle diabetes. Doesn't go away just because like life gets hard type of thing.
Right. That's very interesting. Like, I did not know that, and I'm glad that you were able to like tell me that, because I've never would have known that you it was like when you were saying it, you was like in sports, and I was like, sports management? Because I do know someone in our community, a woman of color who works in sports management, and she's doing big things. So I'm going to make sure that off air I can connect you with her,
Oh,
because yeah, she's doing it big and she loves it. Just saw her at NBA All-Star weekend this past weekend. She's showing all the videos and stuff, like she's there with her teams. And yeah, especially if you can find someone who's living through the things that you're living through, and they found a path or a way to make it work for them.
mm.
Like, Yeah, that's a great thing. That's real good. Aside from like diabetes and the things we've talked about, what are some things that you really like about or love about London that everyone should know? Because if we know you more, we not only can understand you more, but we can line up things so that we can make you and everyone that follows you greater achieve. Like if we really know you, like the things that you like, the things that you enjoy, the things that you can't live without.
Can't live without TikTok. I love a good laugh. Um, I don't know. It's one of those questions, like in interviews, they'd be like, "So, tell me
That's
about yourself."
yeah,
Um,
that sounds like a millennial thing. Can't live without TikTok.
I don't even think it's millennial because honestly, like when TikTok first became a thing, I did not like it. Like people annoyed me just sending it back to back to back. But when I actually took the chance to actually like look and watch at it, this was after all the dancing and stuff like that.
Right.
But it was funny to me. Like I really got a good laugh at it. Like I'll fall down a rabbit hole about a different subject every day and just keep going. But I have not watched that 50 part thing. I can't get myself to watch 50 videos. Um, but what do I like? I tend to say like I'm super simple, like anything entertainment wise. Always down to watch like a good TV show, TV series. I'm always doing something Netflix or Hulu or on YouTube. I watch a lot of like documentaries and like podcasts on YouTube and stuff. And then I'm a big foodie person. I'm always down to eat. Like, even though there are times I don't really have the energy to like go outside and be out and about all night. If it involves food, I'll go. And
Right.
travel.
Food always calls my name.
I mean,
It's like it even knows my nickname. Like, how do you know that?
like, I don't think nobody loves me the way I love food, or because we like love somebody like Kanye loves Kanye type thing. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, and then traveling, even though I need to get back to it, but yeah, I'm a big travel person. I like to experience new places and try new foods in the new places. So
Travel to get some food.
pretty much that would be my dream job, like to get paid to travel and eat. I'd be sick.
There's nothing wrong with that. My daughter, that's what she keeps talking about she wants to do. Like be a traveler that tastes tests food, a food traveler. I'm like, that's she's like, that's my dream job. I'm like, okay, I understand. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you love it and you're passionate about it and you're not worried about how the critics perceive you.
Actually, no, I've never really been a big person to like care too much. I can take criticism. I've been through it pretty much all life, like personal, professional, whatever. So that's never really like bothered me. It's just having the guts to actually just like say F it and go for it.
Go for
That's
it.
kind of like in stop doubting self.
Yeah, I love that mentality. F it and go for it. No sugarcoating. We should get that all on one shirt. F it and go for it. No sugarcoating. Like seriously. Like you mentioned at the beginning, you play on words and everything. Yeah, I've heard it throughout the entirety of this conversation. It's something that I truly enjoy. It's almost like it's a artistic ability to be able to do that.
I never really like a lot of things that I do. I guess people point out later on. I never really like pay attention to it within that moment, but later on it like comes back. So I see what you're saying.
Some of your passions. I know you love TikTok, but your passions that I've learned this evening or just being able to get your organization out there. You show up at events. You want to create events. You want to run a space. I don't know if you want to run this space, but you want to run a space and you want your name out there. And I do truly believe that you're going to get it because, as I say, mind over matter. And if you see it, you dream it, you believe it, you reach it. It's all attainable. And if ever in this life someone tells you that you can't, look in the mirror at the person who has been doing it, continues to do it, and know that you have a community out there that's actually watching you. Whether they're young, they're old, they're watching you and they want to see you achieve. We want to see you achieve. We want to see you be your best because we know that we all have backgrounds, things that have impacted us, that have influenced us over the years. But a lot of those things are part of the mechanisms that give us the will to drive, the will and drive to keep on going, to keep on doing things, keep on reaching. And I know in this lifetime and in the next lifetime, you're going to continue to do that. I'm very appreciative of being able to just have this conversation with you.
No, thank you. It's been a while. Like I've never had the whole like interview based, like nobody's really sat down to have a full on conversation, even diabetes or how that is part of my story type of thing. So I appreciate that.
Right. I mean, I told you from the jump, like it's more than talking about diabetes because as I set out on this mission, I wanted to give the platform to people to, I mean, be themselves, express who they are because by profession, I do like I'm an art and trauma therapist, but I know that with my own lived experience, there are different things that have altered or changed who I am as a being, and just being able to just talk about them, it's going to benefit me, and it's really going to benefit the world as a whole because it'll normalize some of the things that I may have thought was a hindrance or a barrier on my back. Now I'm able to break through them because a night like tonight, we're able to express them and be unapologetically ourselves. When you were a kid, again, when you were a kid diagnosed with diabetes, and did you ever get that saying like 5-year cure thing? I never got that
Mm.
because I hear people saying that all the time. Y'all been saying that forever. 5 years, there's going to be a cure. 5 years. I never received that. I don't know if that's like something that we didn't get because we're people of color. We know that medically the education wasn't given to us like it was to others. The
Oh,
resources,
never heard of that. It's just the content of still working towards a cure or find a
right?
cure, but I've never had like a year set when it should happen.
When the cure does get here, what's the first thing you're going to do?
Um, I've never want to jump to anything, especially when things freshly come out. I don't let somebody else
Oh,
figure out.
I mean when it's like really here, and
Oh,
and
so,
we've been able
um,
to see that people have lived for years with this cure and they're thriving and all of that. Because I'm not hopping on no boat either.
oh, that's weird. Because honestly, I don't really know. Because honestly, I still like live now, like as if I am cured or like just to go on about life without overly thinking, okay, I have this, I can't do anything. So I guess I just turn it up a notch because I already do. So I just live like as if there is a cure, knowing that it's not, but it's never
Mhm.
really stopped me from doing what I really want to achieve. So I kind of, yeah, just like go a little harder.
Right, diabetes can't hold you back. Right. So I'll often think like, okay, so if the cure is here today and I'm 100% cured, what's one thing I probably can do? Book a flight, not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Just hop on a flight and just go wherever without
Or
even.
actually, better yet, just be thankful that I have money to put elsewhere and not on
Mhm.
medication. Yeah.
Right. I told someone the other day, I said the first thing I probably would do is just drop down to my knees and just like, I can't believe it. Like they just eradicated this. I'm all for medical research and the advancements in medicine and things of that nature. So I would um, I'm not going to call it a risk, but I would put myself out there to help achieve the cure through clinical trials and research,
Mm.
even though oftentimes when I do put myself out there, I'm not getting the callbacks. Yeah, and I'm not sure. Well, I know why I'm not getting the callbacks. It aligns with everything else on why we're not the face of certain campaigns and things of that nature. Is there anything that we didn't speak on? I do have your note that you left, but I said you probably don't even remember what it was that you wrote in there. But I do have that down here. If you wanted to, is there anything that you want the world to know about yourself or any questions you have?
No, we actually pretty covered a lot. Yeah, I pretty much said it all. Just to know that regardless of what you may have going on, there's always a way to push through and carry on. Like, of course, take your time. I tell everybody, like, whatever emotion it is you're feeling, just take 24 or 48 hours, feel what you feel, and then let it go and keep pressing on. Because there are things you need to handle, and you never want to ever like hold back on what you're truly trying to achieve because of one moment or something that may be a bigger, I guess, like motivation or pusher to the end goal that you're trying to reach. So,
London, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey. This is the Chronically Will podcast, where we hold real conversations with community that need to be heard.